Most people will never actually own a supercar. And it's not because they can't afford one, it's because they believe it's impossible not to own one without being, well, rich. Here's the truth. I bought my Ferrari 360 for £55,000, which is less than a brand new Golf R. Then we have the other costs that come year on year, and of course that's insurance, and that's £575 for the year, and then we have road tax, £360 for the year. So for a 25-year-old Ferrari, it's not really looking that scary. Yet. The truth is, this car isn't as scary to own as most people might think. Now, I bought this car in my 20s with no trust fund, no YouTube money, no payouts or payoffs. And well, in today's video, I'm going to explain exactly how I was able to do that. So in today's video, I'm going to go over how I was able to make this possible and a reality, how I chose it over a house, how not to get ripped off when buying a Ferrari 360, and how I made it louder with just a Golf T, a 50p exhaust mod. Most people assume you have to be a millionaire to own a Ferrari, but it's a very different equation nowadays. Most people assume it would be £150,000 to own a Ferrari. Well, actually, a higher mileage Ferrari 360 can actually sit between £40,000 and £60,000, which means the proposition of owning one is actually not as far away as most people think. The key difference is, though, make sure you buy a good one and your monthly costs will be low. You buy an expensive one and, well, all of a sudden your dream car could turn into a money pit. So the key notice and difference is, when you go and look at one, know when to walk away. Big things to look out for on a Ferrari 360 is whether that cam belt surface is being done regularly, because that needs doing every 3 years, whether all the ball joints are being done, because they're £250 a corner, and whether the all-important heat exchanger is being done, where if it goes, it will end up putting coolant and transmission fluid together, and that ends up with a gearbox going bye-bye. Luckily, that's been done on this car. The decision, a house or a supercar? When I bought the Ferrari, I had two options. I could buy a house, which was the safe option, or of course I could buy the Ferrari. Well, spoiler, I ended up with a Rosso Corsa manual coupe 360, which was my absolute dream car. Yes, people thought I was mad at the time, but there were a few reasons why I did it. Well, first of all, I work from home, meaning I don't have to commute, and it means that mileage can stay fairly low on a car, and I can buy something a little bit more stupid. On top of that, I've got parking because I live in the middle of nowhere, which means that the car is safe. I'm not parking it on a street side. So that was very much the factors that played into me buying the car. But there was one overarching theme, and the main one was, if I didn't buy it now, there was a very good chance that I might never buy it. That could be because obviously there's never the right time in life, and I thought, well, I've just got to do it. And then on top of that comes the financials. As individuals who grew up with this car, inherently earn more money as they go through their life, they'll try and buy their poster cars. All of a sudden then you see their poster cars start going up and up in value to the point, well, that I might never be able to own this car. So there was no better time than now. And a very controversial thought with a car like this is, if you can afford the finance, you can afford the car. Now, that doesn't mean I haven't had to make sacrifices to own a car like this, but we'll go over that another time. Most people get caught out by the main dealer effect. They think when buying a Ferrari 360, they have to go to the main dealer. That's because, of course, well, it's a Ferrari. And well, they might be right, but I would actually say a lot of the time you're better off going to a specialist. These cars are older, which means you can't really just plug them in and find out what's wrong. A lot of the parts on these cars are needed to be improved, changed and tweaked. And well, if you took it to Ferrari, they will replace it with Ferrari parts. But one of the really interesting things that's happened in the market over the last 10, 20 years is other companies have started recreating these parts. They're not only recreating what was done and what worked, they're improving them. So you can buy parts from the likes of Hills Engineering, which are a fraction of the cost, but actually will make your car better. So you need to get out of the main dealer mindset and start looking at other alternatives to, in theory, make your car even better. Oh, and about that Golf T, let me show you something. So if we go in here and open the hatch and you look down either side of the exhaust, you'll see my latest modification. So let's show you. So in the rear of the 360, you have the exposed exhaust, which is do not touch, of course. But if you look down here, you've actually got valves. You see there? And what I've basically done is taken the rubber off the valve, taped it up and put a Golf T in it. And well, it means the valves stay open all the time, every time. So no, owning a Ferrari isn't just for the millionaires. It's for the individuals that know exactly what they want and are willing to make the numbers work. So in that case, you might be closer to your dream than you think. So the next question is, how was I able to afford and finance a Ferrari 360 at 24? Well, if you want to find out, check out the video by here, and well, I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.